Since Disney decided to let me start over. Since Disney's decided to release the second episode of The Acolyte on the same day as the first episode of The Acolyte because they're so confident in this show, I decided to drop both reviews on the same night. So let's just get to it, okay? Not much happens in the second episode. It's just like repeating the same crap, more stupid stuff, more gay characters. I'll admit though, this kid Yord, his name is Yord. I'm not kidding. His name is Yord, and he probably gay. You know, who isn't in Star Wars now? You know, you can get mad. Get mad. All right, get mad that I'm saying gay. They're saying gay, so I'm gonna say gay. All right, all right, all right. Get mad, Raylo. Get mad. So basically, we find out that Amanda Stedberg, assassin victim number 1, is trying to get revenge against the Jedi for her village being burned down. I assume by the KKK, but I have no confirmation. It's mostly been flashbacks and unreliable narrator storytelling. So the Jedi take victim number 2 to go and hunt down her twin sister. We get a lot of Force Awakens stuff. We get a lot of, the Force is awakening and non-binary chick, victim number 1 or victim number 2. Honestly, they're interchangeable because they're twins, but the acting is so terrible I couldn't tell them apart. But basically, we find out she has an acquaintance who's like a drug dealer or something. Like he owns a pawn shop, and she's like, yeah, I'm trying to kill this Jedi who has been meditating for like 10 years or 16 years or something like that. Yeah, white man who looks like the conceptual incest love child of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. I shit you not, that's what he looks like. And he's just been meditating for like 16 years and nobody bothers him. And every time victim number 1 tries to attack him, he uses the Force to block her, which is really dumb to look at. And it's actually pretty cringy to watch too. Some people are gonna be like, oh, that's really cool, he's using the Force to block. Shut up. Shut up. So basically she can't kill him with her baby knives. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to poison him. So she goes to the drug dealer guy, the guy who owns a pawn shop, and she's like, yeah, I need you to make me a roofie serum. And he's like, wow, really? That's tasteful, given that our creator of this show is, you know, a former assistant of Harvey Weinstein. So she gets a roofie serum and then goes to roofie him. And he's like, I want to die, roofie me. And he just downs the serum and dies. So Jedi number 2, dead. So she's just going around hunting Jedi for revenge. Good for her, I guess. I'm not really invested in the story too much, but don't worry. Word on the street says that it's going to get way more interesting, and not in a good way, not in a good story way. It's actually, in my first video, I said that there was a lack of identity politics. Well, historically speaking, when it comes to Disney Plus, they kind of take it very mid, very basic on the first couple episodes, and then by the 3rd or 4th episode, they hammer down on the identity politics. And I have a feeling that something is not going to go well. I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, I have a feeling something is about to really spill over because, like I said, it's too early to judge. There's several episodes left to go, and I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's bring the black balloons out. Let's bring out all the candles and cake and just have a big old funeral for Star Wars. Of course, there's still going to be some people, some enablers out there who are going to be like defending it. Good for you. You know, you can sit there and say, don't hate watch it. Don't hate on it. Yeah, you know, you can keep on crying, keep getting mad. You're just mad that we're right and that we don't like it as much as you do. But for some reason, you can't enjoy it, you know, just for what it is. You have to complain that we're complaining about legitimate criticisms. So it's a weird detractor circle that these children have to get out of. But, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the dumbass drink. So is what it is, right? And I have lost all emotion for Star Wars, that these first 2 episodes had no emotional nerve to me. In fact, every time they try to do these member berries, you know, they had the screen wipes, right? Like they did in Ahsoka. You know what made the screen wipes interesting in the original trilogy is every time there was a screen wipe, it led to a transition to a new scene that happened on a different planet or a different time zone or a different something. It was a transition to a different, you know, scene, right? Well, whenever they use screen wipes in The Acolyte, it's just to transition from one frame to the next, even though they're in the same fucking scene and nothing changed, right? And it throws me off. As a Star Wars fan, it throws me off because it doesn't make any sense that they would do that. But of course, that makes sense coming from a person that, doesn't really like Star Wars and more is a fan of herself, Leslie Headland. She likes all the Star Wars, guys. She doesn't know a perfect Star Wars movie that she likes or her favorite Star Wars movie. Anakin blew up the Death Star because, who gives a fuck about canon anymore? That's what it is now. That's all we've ever asked for is, respect the lore, respect the canon, respect the fans. But since, all these things sort of amount to the proper amount of disrespect of George Lucas, the fans, and the IP, naturally, this is what it's come to. And we can't say much more than, I told you so, But hey, you can make this shit out of spite and, tell your little story all day. All you're going to do is bleed money. I can't wait for you to release another movie in theaters so it could flop. And we can be right once again because you cowards, you pussies, refuse to put movies in theaters because you know it's going to flop. After Solo, you know that shit's going to flop. Because you're so dead at this point, Lucasfilm. You're so dead. Oh, yeah, we got to introduce a Wookiee. Or a Wookiee. We introduced a Wookiee, and he did not look very great. The makeup was shit. Like I said in the last video, basically, I'll give him credit for making the whole set look as cheap as the High Republic is probably going to look. And a great thing about the High Republic is everybody was on crack at the time. So, I expect probably pronouns and, other shit in the future. Word on the street says that there is going to be a redefinition of the Force. Kind of weird that would happen right after George Lucas said, yeah, people still don't understand the Force. Weird, huh? Weird. But he's got, 7 million reasons not to complain? Whatever. He's not going to come back. Quit, put your hand down and stop talking about George Lucas coming back to Lucasfilm. He ain't doing it, bro. So, what did we learn from Acolyte Episode 2? Really nothing. Really nothing. A couple of dumb fight scenes. The context of which they showed it, from the trailers and such are different, but doesn't make it better. Fight scenes are stupid. The people are still stupid. What's her name? Master Vagina? Whatever, the green skinned Jedi, also stupid. Isn't Yoda around? Isn't Yoda not that I want him to be in this show, but theoretically speaking, he's been alive that long that he could have actually made an appearance in the show, but still, you need somebody logical. Okay, you can make the argument that the fall of the Jedi came from, hubris, but also came from Palpatine screwing everybody around. Palpatine put a lot of effort into basically infiltrating and destroying the Republic. That was Palpatine's doing with the help of Count Dooku, with the help of the Kaminoans. There was a lot of efforts put in to try and destroy the Republic from the inside, which is kind of the lesson that I believe this Sith Master is trying to teach the Acolyte victim number 1. But that was the lesson that was supposed to be told, is that you're not supposed to attack the Jedi with a weapon because they're always going to defend against it. You have to attack from the inside. You have to infiltrate, basically. And that's what Palpatine did. That's how Palpatine overthrew the Republic. But the way that they're presenting it is, how do I explain this? Oh, God, it's so mid, it's so boring, and I'm losing my mind. I can't even think straight. It's like 1 a.m. right now when I'm making this video. I got a riff because I don't want to do a lot of edits for this. Basically, Palpatine used a lot of chicanery, foolery, political stuff, politics to basically infiltrate and destroy the Republic. But the reason the Jedi never caught on to him was because he was a Sith Lord. He masked his Force scent, basically, if you could equate it to that. But there's also a bit of hubris from the Jedi. The Jedi were very egotistical. They believed that the Sith could not have appeared for 1,000 years, which to them, it didn't. But we still had the rule of 2. We still had 2 Sith that were, roaming around because of the rule of 2. But to them, the Sith had never approached them for a millennia, is what they had said. And there was also a matter of hubris. They said, there's no way that the Sith would have appeared because we would have noticed them by now. But that doesn't matter to the writers. It's a canonical issue that doesn't matter. Of course, Leslie Headland is the type to be like, my story is more important than your story or anybody's story for matter, because my story is the most important one. Victim culture, Harvey Weinstein assistant. People are asking why people like me don't like Leslie Headland. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because she was helping Harvey Weinstein recruit women. You know, she sat there and she let it happen. You know, and then after the fact, you know, after he got caught, she played victim as if, you know, she was attractive enough to be, I'm not going to say it because of YouTube, but basically, there's a difference between hubris that the Jedi had, the absolute neglect that they had to not notice the Sith sooner. But in this show, it's just pure ineptitude. It's incompetence. The Jedi are stupid. They're just stupid, right? It makes me actively hate the Jedi, like more than like anything from like the Clone Wars could have. You know, it's one thing to hate the Jedi for banning Ahsoka, for treating her like shit, or like Ki-Adi-Mundi, for example, being an asshole, right? It's some things like that that make you kind of disown the Jedi, but this makes me hate the Jedi like actively because they're so goddamn stupid. They're just dumb people, and the characters around them, non-Jedi as well, are stupid. We're supposed to believe that there's a Sith Lord that's helping victim number one, and I don't care if it's Darth Plagueis. I don't care if it's Darth Tenebris or Darth Bane or whoever they choose. It could be a random nobody. Honestly, I have a feeling it might be Carrie-Anne Moss because they killed her off so soon. And so they might just bring her ass back. Because, you know, you can survive lightsaber wounds. Who's to say you can't survive a baby knife to the chest? But who am I, right? Who am I to notice all these stupid things? Fucking Dave Filoni, my God. So basically, the Jedi are ineptitude, or they're inept at their jobs. And it's like they're playing the galaxy police, which is fine. You know, it's kind of their job, but there's so many inconsistencies. They mention that the Jedi have political rivals. Like, political rivals? Y'all motherfuckers are monks. You're not even in any wars. In fact, the High Republic made a whole point that there was no war. And of course, that's what all these politics freaks, you know, these political freaks start showing up in my comments on these videos of, you know, whenever I say Star Wars isn't political, they say, well, you know, wars are started because of politics. Well, okay, let's look at this for a second. The High Republic was a time where there was no war. There was a time where no war was going on. It was all peace. Everybody was smoking pot and, you know, having sex and having, you know, becoming gay and whatnot. That's apparently what I assumed the High Republic was. But apparently the Jedi have political enemies, and they've been dominating the galaxy. Not so High Republic, is it? Not so High Republic. But hey, you know, maybe I'm just nitpicking. Maybe I'm just a toxic, racist person. Who knows? Maybe I'm noticing how many white people are in the show because there ain't many. I'll tell you that. And if they are in it, they're usually weak, stupid, or, you know, incompetent. But that's pretty much everybody in the show, really. So racism doesn't even matter here. You can take a race out of, you know, the entire conversation. Everybody's still stupid. Everybody's still stupid. But, yeah, really not much to... It's just boring. It's just lame. It's so dumb. I don't even know if I can hate it. I don't even know if I can hate it. At least not yet. Still time. There's still time, but I don't even know if I can hate it because it's just so, like, I have no investment in it. Star Wars died pretty much the day George Lucas signed the paper and sold it to Disney. For multiple reasons. It was a slow death. It was a cancerous death. And now Star Wars is a roaming zombie that doesn't know that it's dead. And honestly, I could give a fuck, really. Is what it is, you know? Is what it is. But your boy's still going to review it. Your boy's still going to make these videos and post them. So, yeah, hopefully I'll remember more of the plot whenever the time comes. So...